Hello guys, so today I am going to be telling you my top 10 favorite rides in Walt Disney World. I will say before I start though, these are only the rides I've ridden and this is just my personal opinion. I'm not saying these are the best rides because some of them are going to make people mad and I don't want to make anyone mad, so if you get mad, don't try and start a fight in the comments. I mean, if you really want to, I guess you could. But I don't really want to start fights. This is just my opinion, and I'd love to hear from your opinions too. What are your top 10 favorite rides? I'm sorry about this whole thing. Yeah, I wanted to do something, but then it wasn't working, so you get bed, and there's a sheet behind it there, and book, and my pins, and then riders. So let's start off with number 10. Okay, so first I would like to say that number 10 will surprise you. It surprised me. What I did was I printed out a list of every ride and attraction at Walt Disney World, and then I crossed the ones out that I didn't think belonged on the list, so I was left with 10 attractions that are my top 10 favorites, and then I just arranged them in order. Let's go. So number 10 is the Enchanted Tiki Room. We're starting off our list where the birds sing words and the flowers croon. I don't know how Enchanted Tiki Room made it on my list. It's something that I don't even do every time, but it's something that I don't think Disney World would be the same without, or Disneyland for that matter. Enchanted Tiki Room, I don't know, I remember buying the CD when I was younger and always singing along. I remember doing an Enchanted Tiki Room-esque show for my friends one time. It holds a special place in my memories from when I was younger, and I really love Polynesian culture. There's palm trees all around, a warm breeze, water. Like the Polynesian's my favorite hotel even though I've never stayed there. And Enchanted Tiki Room, it's something Walt Disney worked on as well. It was his idea, he designed it. And then when they turned it into under new management, we're not going to discuss that. It was a mistake made by many. So number 10 is Enchanted Tiki Room. Moving on to number 9. My number 9 favorite attraction in Walt Disney World didn't really come as a surprise to me. I really liked it. I think it's about here on my list. It's Toy Story Midway Mania. Toy Story Mania is it's such a fun ride. Like, you're spinning the tram and you get to shoot things at a 3D screen. It's so much fun. And when you're in the final round and you're just pulling on the string as hard as you can, it's like counting down the time and there's 10,000 points available, and your arm gets so sore but you keep going anyway, and then the second it's over you just collapse and you can't do any more. That's a great feeling, and then knowing that you beat your family is also really fun, even though I don't usually beat my family. I'm not very good at those kinds of games. I'm good at Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger Spin though. But that's because I know all the secrets. Anyway, back to Toy Story Mania. Toy Story Mania is a really fun ride, and yeah, definitely in my top 10. Number 8. So my number 8 favorite attraction in Walt Disney World is Soarin' over California / Soarin' around the world. I think I do prefer Soarin' over California, but Soarin' over the world is definitely a mediocre, I guess, replacement. Felt like they changed it just to change it, especially in California Adventure, when it was perfectly fine the way it is. I think my major complaint about Soarin' Around the World is the new score. But still, Soarin' Around the World is one of the best rides at Disney World. Do not skip it. Soarin' Around the World is really, really, really fun, and the first time I went on it, I tried to go on it with open eyes, like not knowing anything about it, but I just had to watch the video, and it was so cool. You fly over the Eiffel Tower, you fly over the waterfall. I don't know what waterfall it is. The new Epcot finale is certainly really cool too. You end at Epcot, not in California, which makes a lot more sense than Soarin' over California. And I like the smells they give you. They took away the orange smell, which is kind of disappointing. And the new smells aren't as strong, but they're still smells. There's wind. And I look forward to trying Avatar Flight of Passage next time I go to Disney World, because I've heard it's a lot like Soarin' but better, and I don't know how they could make Soarin' better, so I'm really excited to try it. Let's go to number 7. Okay, my number 7 favorite ride in Walt Disney World is Kilimanjaro Safaris. Kilimanjaro Safaris is the most realistic ride in all of Disney World. I think we can safely say that without anyone disagreeing. You get to sit in a Jeep and go around a real African safari. It feels exactly like you're in Africa, I think. I've never been to Africa. But Kilimanjaro Safaris is so much fun. You have knowledgeable guides that take you around. You get to see animals ranging from lions to elephants to hyenas to crocodiles. It's amazing. Where else in the world can you do that besides the real thing? Kilimanjaro Safaris is a very worthy place on this list. And every time I go to Animal Kingdom, I'm really excited to ride it. It's probably one of the rides I'm most excited to ride. My number 6 favorite ride is one that's been removed from many Disney parks. I know it's gone in Disneyland, but it's still alive and well in Magic Kingdom. It's the Tomorrowland Transit Authority Peoplemover. The Peoplemover I know is going to be quite, well, you either love it or you hate it. A lot of people hate it, but a lot of people also love it. For me, I love it. It's like a train in the sky. You get to go inside Space Mountain, Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger spin. You get to see great views of the castle, and you're moving through the breeze, which is really nice on hot Florida days. The Peoplemover is also a pretty long ride that has no wait usually. It's about 10 minutes and you can almost always walk on. Even if there is a line, the line moves extremely quickly. Also to mention, it's like you're sitting on a couch. What ride in Disney World would you not want to ride that has no line? It's 10 minutes long, where you sit on a couch, get blasted with cold air, go inside Space Mountain, and go on a train. It's the perfect ride. I don't know why it's not more popular. And there are rumors of it closing down soon. I think they've kind of quieted down in recent years. But if it closes down, Disney World would be nothing to me. Not really, but I'd be really sad. Alright, my number 5 favorite ride is Dinosaur. Dinosaur in Animal Kingdom is a very, 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 very fun ride. I love everything about Dinosaur. From the second you enter the queue and you're in the museum, it transports you to the museum. You're actually going to go on a Time Rover tour. And then you watch the pre-show and you learn that you're going to go back in time, but this guy's actually trying to get you to do something for him. And then he's like, no, you'll be fine. But then you end up barely escaping the meteorite. It's a hectic ride. It's a lot of fun. It's scary, but not like thrilling scary. It's jump scary. There's a bunch of robotic dinosaurs that always are chasing you, and it takes your picture. Rides that take your picture are always fun. Dinosaur is, in my opinion, the perfect thrill ride. It's not too thrilling, so everyone can ride it, but it's thrilling enough so that you feel like you got enough for a good wait time. On to number 4. Alright, my number 4 is Big Thunder Mountain. When I was younger, this used to be my favorite ride, but that was before number 3 got changed, number 2 opened, and, well, I don't know why number 1 wasn't. Anyway, Big Thunder Mountain is probably the biggest roller coaster that I can easily handle, like just be like, okay, I'll get on it, rather than having to have someone convince me, but I'm trying to change that, don't worry. Big Thunder Mountain isn't a very scary roller coaster, but like Dinosaur, it's thrilling enough, just not overly thrilling. Big Thunder Mountain also is one of the best themed rides anywhere. I mean, if you just look at that rockwork right there, and the trains, you can see they're themed very well. It feels like you're actually going into Tumbleweed and barely escaping. Wait, no, is Tumbleweed the Disneyland one? Yeah, I think Tumbleweed's the Disneyland town. Does our town even have a name? Maybe. We'll just leave it at Mining Town. How's that? No, it's... Okay, sorry guys. Also, when you're going through the caverns and you see all the bats and the water's sprouting up everywhere, that's really pretty. I know most people are like, oh no, it's scary because we're about to go down and drop. No, I think that's really pretty. That's probably one of the best parts of the ride for me. And then just like the swooping, the little dips, the racing around corners. I love mine train roller coasters. So Big Thunder Mountain, number 4. On to number 3. Alright guys, my number 3 favorite attraction is Muppet Vision 3D. No, I'm just kidding, don't worry. Although Muppet Vision 3D is very, 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 very good 3D show. It almost made my top 10 list, which is pretty embarrassing to say. But it did, so might as well say it. No. My number 3 favorite attraction is Star Tours, The Adventures Continue. Like I said previously, when it was just Star Tours, it wasn't on my list. But Star Tours The Adventures Continue is a whole nother ballpark. In Star Tours The Adventures Continue, you board a Star Tours flight. Star Tours is basically like an airline, except you travel through space. So you're on the Endor Express, which is a regularly scheduled flight to Endor. But then of course, your pilot goes out for, I don't know, like a drink or something, and C-3PO gets stuck in the cockpit. So guess who has to fly your plane? Yeah, C-3PO. Anyway, a whole mess ensues. You end up with a rebel spy and being chased by the dark side. I'm not really a Star Wars fanatic, sorry. Anyway, you end up in your destination, okay, with the rebel spy safe. But it's such a fun journey. Like, your car bucks in a variety of ways. The screen and the movements are perfectly aligned. It's 3D, which is also cool. And they take your picture, not for everyone, but the rebel spy. And if you're the rebel spy, then everyone gets to see that you're the rebel spy. Very fun. I've never been the rebel spy, so let me know in the comments if you've ever been the rebel spy. On to number 2. Okay, before I move my hand away, I would like to reiterate another thing. Remember, this is just my personal opinion. This is probably one of the most controversial things at Disney World. And it's my number 2 favorite attraction. So, please, again, don't get mad. This is just my opinion. I'm not saying it's better than anything else. Well, I am, but I'm not saying that everyone should agree. I'm not saying that it was the right thing for Disney to do. But I am saying that the outcome was amazing. And I would like to ride it every single day. For the whole day, I could, and I would. So, my second favorite attraction is Frozen Ever After. Okay, let me start off by saying Frozen is by far not my favorite Disney movie. In fact, Frozen's not even in my top 15 Disney movies. I don't think it's that great of a movie. I think it's an okay movie. I don't think it should have been put in Future or in World Showcase in the Norway Pavilion, but I think what Disney did with the ride is stunning. The audio animatronics, especially of Elsa during her Let It Go sequence, are fluent. They're the best animatronics I've ever seen, and I haven't been to Pandora yet, just saying. And I think Frozen Ever After should be experienced by everyone. Even if you're protesting the ride, which I don't think people are anymore, you need to ride it. I think the thing I like about Frozen Ever After most of all, well, I like boat rides, as you'll see by my number 1 pick as well. But Frozen Ever After, it's a great retelling of the movie. You don't hear the exact songs, you hear the songs, but the lyrics are slightly changed. There's a drop that gets you wet, which is really fun. Especially, the drop actually is probably what puts this in the spot. Yeah, it's one of the most fun drops I've ever been on a boat ride. So Frozen Ever After, number 2 spot. Let's move on to number 1. I think you all know what's coming. Okay, even though you all know my number 1 pick, I would like to unveil some honorable mentions first. So, Haunted Mansion is a very, very, very much honorable mention. It was very close to making my list. It's probably number 11. Splash Mountain was also very close to making my list, but I decided it wouldn't be fair to include it because I went on the Disneyland version in 2014 and I hated it. Absolutely hated it, but I remember really liking the Disney World version, but I missed it my past 2 trips because I hated the Disneyland one. So Splash Mountain is an honorable mention. And finally, Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger Spin is also my third honorable mention. Those 3 were very close to making the list, but sadly, they just weren't close enough as these are. Alright, and now, my number 1 favorite attraction in Disney World is Pirates of the Caribbean. If you didn't see this coming, I don't know why. Pirates of the Caribbean is on most people's top 10 lists, but it is by far my favorite attraction. Like I said with Frozen Ever After, I really love boat rides, and I really love drops, small drops, and Pirates of the Caribbean packs both of them into one ride. You float around the Caribbean town, and there's so much detail. You hear Yo Ho Yo Ho, A Pirate's Life for Me, which is an original song. Plus it's the last attraction Walt Disney ever worked on, which makes it historical in the Disney timeline as well. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. I enjoyed making it and sharing my top 10 favorite rides with you. And I'd like to know in the comments below, done there, what are your top 10 favorite Disney rides? Again, rides such as Space Mountain, Expedition Everest, Tower of Terror, Rock and Roller Coaster, Flight of Passage, those are ones that are on most people's lists, but I have never been on them, so I can't fairly put them on my list. I hope to one day go on them and then make a new list, an updated list. But until then, this is my top 10 list. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please make sure to subscribe, like, and comment your favorite top 10s, favorite rides. Bye.